Thanks so much for staying on with us right here on the Stock Game.
Well, let's just take a look at the markets because it has come off a little bit from the day's high, though still in the green by about 63 points. We're in a tight range. 7,200 is now off the screen, and the Sensex 2 has come off from the day's high at about 23,596 right now. The list of losers has expanded. It's BHEL, Asian Paints, Idea Cellular, Maruti, GAIL, Adani Ports now, which are also seeing a little bit of pressure. And just pull up some of the sectoral indices also, which are down and out in trades right now. And in fact, all sectors, though, are still holding out in the green, led by pharma and media. But let's move right on then to the stock game and walk you through how it's played. It's basically a portfolio building exercise where our three experts get a notional amount of 5 lakhs. They create a portfolio with one stock from the F&O space and a compulsory churn of 2 stocks every single day. It's at the end of the week that we will tally up who has the strongest portfolio and declare that person as the winner of the stock game. Time to introduce then our 3 experts on the show, Ruchit Jain, Rajesh Sharma and Siddhartha Chatterjee, all joining in. Ruchit, let's start off with you in the first 2 stocks. Talk a little bit about Dr. Reddy's. We've seen quite a bit of fervor in the pharma stocks this week. Today's no exception. And Siemens, how come this stands out on the charts?
Dr. Reddy, overall, it's in a consolidation phase since last 1.5 months. What happened in yesterday's trading session that after a consolidation of 4-5 days, the stock showed a good positive momentum along with increasing volumes. It had indicated that within this range, the stock has potential to move up to the higher end of the range, which today we have already seen it has moved higher. And that's why I had chosen this Dr. Reddy with stop loss below 2935 and target of 3025. Although it has moved much higher than my given target levels, but still I think the stock has potential to move further higher up to 3220 in near term. My second pick was a buy call in Siemens. The stock is trading in a channel, and since last few trading sessions, the prices are consolidating near the lower end of the channel. We believe that the stock would give a pullback move again up to the higher end of the channel. So with a target of 1100, the stock is a good buy on any kind of declines with the stop loss placed below 990.
Okay, and let's move on and touch base with Rajesh Sharma as well. And Rajesh, well, the first call is on a Reliance Infra that's been seeing quite a bit of traction of late, and you've also picked out a Chennai Petro. What's the reasoning behind these two?
Reliance Infra Mega, if you see the stock yesterday closed after taking support on its 200-day moving averages, and suddenly the technical picture looks pretty much okay for the stock. The RSI is moving sideways to little up, and MACD is just about on the verge of giving a positive crossover. So since that Dow futures were opening, I mean, they were in the green and the situation looked pretty okay. So I wanted to go along with Reliance Infra. So buy with a stop loss of 408 for a target of 442. The second pick is a buy in Chennai Petro. Well, the stock was on tear yesterday, if you remember, literally rising 13.5% and closing with good amount of volumes backing it. I think the stock can test levels of 190, 195 also, as the MACD has already given a positive crossover and technical picture looks okay, though the stock is not behaving as per my expectation. But I feel another day of probably uptick, the stock has potential to even go to 200 rupees. So buy with a stop loss of 173 for a target of 187.40.
Okay, that's a word coming in on Reliance Infrastructure. Chennai Petro also getting a thumbs up, although it's a tad subdued in the session. Siddhartha Chatterjee with us on the show as well. And Siddhartha, it's an all-buy list. Let's start off with Indiabulls Housing Futures, a short-term trading play, I'd assume. And Vedanta, despite the negative news, the stock is holding out in the green.
No, I wanted to play a bounce back in the morning hours of the market, and precisely why buy in Indiabulls Housing Finance. Anyway, it happens to be one of the best in the housing finance domain in terms of momentum play. Though on quality parameters, I would still go for a HDFC or a Group Finance. But anyway, I thought there could be some bounce back in the morning, and I just wanted to play that bounce back, and that's why Indiabulls Housing Finance was a buy. There are technical supports of 605 and 585, and there are technical resistance of roughly 626 to about 645. Vedanta, yes, a momentum play once again. Not that I'm recognizing the fundamentals, but I think the worst is over for all these metal stocks, and China should have been at the bottom of the disaster cycle, unless some new cupboard. And I think Vedanta qualifies into a buy as long as staying above 71 with targets of 81 going forward. But the rally can fizzle out. That's a word of caution I would like to put in to any traders. So it's what is two were all trading calls, expecting a bounce back, and that's precisely why these two buys.
Okay, and Vedanta actually had quite a good bounce come in early in the morning. It's cooled off from those levels. Target of 76.50 though for Siddhartha for today. Meanwhile, let's figure out what's the third and fourth idea that our experts had picked out. And Ruchit, there's LIC housing. What are you seeing in the chart patterns here? And at Jet Airways, there's a lot of fundamental factors that seem to be working well for the aviation space, especially in light of the crude price decline, those sub $30 barrel levels. How are the charts looking here?
First, if you see LIC Housing Finance in last 1.5 months, the prices have corrected from 500 to 400. So, and after this correction, the stock is now trading around its medium-term support level. Last week on 12th of Feb, the stock had formed a long leg doji pattern, and we have seen retracement of that a little up move in last couple of sessions. So we are assuming, we are anticipating that since this is a reversal pattern formed at the support levels, hence a pullback rally could be seen in the stock, which could lead the stock towards 430, 435 levels. So with keeping a stop loss below 393, I placed a buy call in LIC Housing Finance. Even at current levels, for short-term traders, one can look to buy this stock. My last call was a buy call in Jet Airways. The stock had already shown in last 1.5 year a massive up move from 300 to 800. Now the entire impulsive up move which was there, that has been retraced by 50%. So it's trading exact around its 50% retracement of that entire impulsive up move. So a pullback rally in the stock should be seen in near term, since prices have also shown some consolidation around this 50% retracement. So a target of 583, one can look to buy with stop loss below 529.
Okay, that's the call coming in on the other two buy recommendations, and clearly it's a view coming on LIC housing and aviation, a sector that's been in focus indeed. That's a 52-week chart of Jet Airways. It's a stock that Ruchit is also fairly bullish on, talking about targets of 583 on Jet Airways with a stop at 529. Moving away, let's talk about the pharma tilt, Rajesh, that you're adopting. Apart from the first two stocks, it's clearly, this sector that you seem to be bullish on. Aurobindo, is it a good time to buy at the current levels? And Torrent Pharma, what are the targets you have penned out?
Well, you see, the stock had yesterday closed with a lot of green and on the back of good volumes. The way the rupee is now trading near its all-time low levels, I think it augurs well for the exporting pharma companies. Particularly who are concentrated in the US market. So my sense is that all the pharma stocks will sooner or later react to this news as rupee breaches its all-time high levels. So the depreciation will help them in a big way. Technically also, if you see, the picture is looking good. After falling from levels of some 900 rupees in 1.5 months, the stock has plateaued around 600 rupees and is now trying to come out of the hibernation. Yesterday, it came out from the oversold zone to the positive territory for RSI, and MACD is also now moving up only. So technically also it's looking much better now. I think if we have a couple of up days, stock can even move in excess of 700 rupees. For the purpose of this show, I have a target of 692 with a stop loss of 645. The fourth and final pick is also a buy in Torrent Pharma. Well, ditto for this company also. The charts are looking good, and as the rupee depreciation news will also help this counter, because this company is also a big is into exports in a big way. and RSI, and technically if you see the RSI and stochastics are surging ahead in a positive territory, and MACD is also on the verge of giving a positive crossover. With the markets in this kind of shape for a couple of days, probably stock has potential to test 1400 level also, though my stop loss has been triggered for today, I believe. But I think the stock has good days ahead.
Okay, and meanwhile, take a look at what's happening with the markets. We've cooled off a fair bit. We're still up about 1% on the benchmarks, but definitely come off the day's high and quite sharply at that. Right now, 71.67. And while the sectoral indices across the board are still holding up in the positive territory, you've got some of the smartest gains and smartest moves coming in from the media, the tech space, and media specifically. Take a look at what's happening with the DEN networks. You've got this one staring at a level of about 74. Z Entertainment seeing a notch of about close to 2 rupees, 2% right now. That's about 7%. IT and tech, that's the pocket, like I said, has seen an overall up move come through of about 1%, a little over 1% on the index. And the big contribution right now for the IT pack is coming in from the way Justal has moved. This stock has also cooled off, but nevertheless, it's still up about 24 rupees. But let's go across to Siddhartha Chatterjee. And Siddhartha, run us through a Yes Bank as well as Reliance Industries. Two nifty names. Would these be in your portfolio, long-term portfolio as well?
No, I would rather trade with these kind of ideas at this point of time, because Nifty is capped within range, and I don't know. Yes Bank yesterday's, after taking a base support of 700 rupees, could manage to move up, and I thought in the morning we would see a continuation of the trend and thereby a buy in Yes Bank. The Reliance factor was like this, that since it was closing above 950, a natural upward momentum stay above 965. So I gave a buy call on that.
Okay, but just watch out as to how Reliance Industries has shaped up today. Nosedive to the day's low after holding out fairly smartly in the green, and I just want to keep an eye out on the index as well. 71.63 right now. Some of those large caps are seriously coming off right now. BHEL, Maruti, RIL being one of them, Adani Ports, Axis Bank, Yes Bank, and a quick call on the Bank Nifty futures, or rather look at the Bank Nifty futures would give us an indication as to where the market is perhaps likely headed. But those are some of the big names which are coming off at this point in time. The Bank Nifty futures too, well, it's not doing too bad. It's still holding out in the green, up by about 0.5%. Quick glimpse of the calculators as we wind it down on the stock game, and a look at Ruchit Jain's portfolio. Well, 4 buy calls. He's got the target achieved on Dr. Reddy's. You've got 2 stocks which have been are making him losses, and LIC Housing Finance 2 is holding out in the green. That's the total tally on day 4. It's a gain as we speak of 5.9%, which is 29,600 rupees for Ruchit. Rajesh Sharma up next, and he too has got an all buy portfolio, but it's only Pharma that is working in his favor, and that too Aurobindo Pharma, which is the only stock making gains. 4% off, 20,500 is what he loses. Siddhartha Chatterjee then, take a look at his calculator, reflecting gains across the board as all 4 stocks have hit the bullseye. As we speak, it's a total gain on his calculator right now of about 36,000 rupees. 7% is what he's gained, putting him in the leading spot, followed by Ruchit and Rajesh Sharma. And lovely to have you with us, gentlemen, on this leg of the stock game. Thanks so much for sharing with us your top calls. And on that note, we call it a day. Up next is Market Sense.